Welcome to our very first weekend mystery special, where we explore the strange, the unexplained, and the stories that refuse to be forgotten. In the remote stretches of Manistash Ridge, west of Ellensburg, Washington, lies a hole on Mel Waters' property. It looks like a well, but it isn't a well. It's something far stranger. Before Mel ever arrived, the previous owners and their neighbors used the hole as a bottomless trash pit. Broken appliances, tires, household garbage, even animal carcasses, all tossed in without a second thought. Yet no matter how much they dumped into it, the hole never filled. Mel noticed something else. His dogs refused to approach it. His radio picked up bizarre signals near it, and no matter how he tried, he could find no sound, no echo, bouncing back from its depths. Mel's unease turned into obsession. He had to find out just how deep this thing truly was. The hole measured precisely 9 feet, 9 inches across. A rough stone retaining wall wrapped around the top 15 feet. After that, nothing but a plunge into endless blackness. Armed with fishing line and a 1-pound weight, Mel began his experiments. Down went the line. 4,500 feet. No bottom. Mel wasn't ready to give up. He brought out more spools of fishing line, each stretching 5,000 feet, 10,000 feet, 20,000, 50,000, 80,000 feet, over 15 miles of line, and still, no bottom. And the hole wasn't just silent and bottomless. It repelled life itself. Mel's dogs dug their paws into the dirt to avoid being dragged near it. No birds, no insects, no wildlife dared approach. Then came a chilling revelation. One neighbor admitted he had thrown his deceased dog into the hole, only to see the same dog, collar and all, running through the woods days later. But when he called to it, the dog didn't recognize him. It simply turned and disappeared into the trees. Could the hole bridge dimensions? Could it undo death? Mel didn't know, but he needed help. In 1997, there was only one place to bring a mystery like this: Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell. Broadcasting from the high desert of the American Southwest, Art Bell had 10 million nightly listeners. If anyone could get answers, it was Art and his audience. On February 21, 1997, Mel contacted Art. Within hours, Mel's hole became an overnight sensation. Theories poured in. Use radar to measure it. Shine a laser beam down. Lower a camera. But there was a dark side. Now, millions of people knew where to look. Based on Mel's clues, the location wasn't hard to pinpoint. The very next day, when Mel tried to return to his property, he found the entrance blocked. Armed soldiers and military vehicles had taken control. Helicopters circled overhead. Mel was told there had been a plane crash on the property, but there were no reports of any crash. No smoke. No wreckage. Nothing. When Mel asked to speak to whoever was in charge, a man in civilian clothes, someone who felt wrong, warned him. The land might no longer be his, and if Mel caused trouble, they could easily find a drug lab on his property. When Mel threatened to go public, the man smirked and said, "Go ahead, no one will believe you." But Art Bell and his audience did believe him. In the days that followed, more bizarre phenomena emerged. A neighbor claimed he saw a beam rising from the hole, an impossibly dark beam, blacker than the night sky, shooting straight into the clouds. The area had long been a hotbed for UFO sightings, disappearances, and paranormal activity. Some speculated the hole sat atop a ley line, a portal to another dimension. Others believed it was a gateway to the hollow earth. Meanwhile, investigators found clear evidence of heavy military activity in the area. Yellow caterpillar tracks, fences, no-fly zones. TerraServer, a new satellite imaging site, showed the entire section blacked out. Mel had stirred up something he couldn't control. Then, without warning, he disappeared. For 3 years, there was silence. No word from Mel Waters. When he resurfaced, his story was even stranger. He revealed that shortly after the Coast to Coast broadcast, he was offered an unimaginable deal: $3 million a year to lease his property. If he agreed to sign a non-disclosure agreement, leave the country immediately and never come back. Mel accepted. He lived in Australia for 2 years, but homesickness drew him back to the US. That's when things got even worse. On a bus ride to visit his nephew, Mel found himself involved in a mysterious altercation. Police boarded the bus, passengers were questioned, then Mel blacked out. 12 days later, he woke up in an alleyway in San Francisco. His wallet, his keys, gone. His arm bore marks from an IV drip. Blood filled his mouth. His back teeth had been extracted. When he checked his bank account, it was empty. His property? Tied up in legal actions for illegal construction he never committed. It seemed the government had erased Mel Waters. But Mel wasn't finished yet. A Native American tribe from Nevada had heard his story. They contacted Mel and invited him to investigate something equally strange, another bottomless hole. This second hole was found not on the reservation, but on public grazing land used by the Basque people. It looked just like Mel's, about 9 feet wide, lined with strange metal extending down into darkness. But there were differences. The metal was warm to the touch, and eerily silent. When a dropped tool struck it, no sound echoed back. Mel and the Basques began experiments. They lowered buckets of ice into the hole. When they brought the ice back up, it was transformed, dry, solid, and strangely warm, more like giant blocks of salt than frozen water. Sometimes the ice even ignited and burned for months. They decided to lower a living creature, a sheep. The sheep fought violently to avoid going near the hole, but eventually, they sent it 1,000 feet down. For 30 minutes, the crate was still. Then they reeled it back up. The sheep was dead. When they cut it open, they found its insides cooked, as if roasted from within. And inside the carcass, they discovered something impossible, a massive tumor. When they cut into the tumor, it opened like a womb, and out crawled a creature, a small, seal-like animal, attached by an umbilical cord. But it wasn't an ordinary animal. It had the eyes of a human being. The creature studied them for 2 hours. Then it wriggled toward the hole. Mel lifted it, slimy and smelling of ozone, and set it near the edge. Without hesitation, the creature leapt back into the abyss. And something even stranger happened. Before visiting Nevada, Mel had been diagnosed with terminal esophageal cancer, 6 months to live. After the encounter with the seal-like being, Mel's cancer was completely gone. He believed the creature, whatever it was, had healed him. But time was running out. Military pressure around the original property increased. TV crews investigating the hole found evidence of massive covert operations, but no hole. Mapping data showed blacked-out zones. No-fly restrictions expanded mysteriously. And despite skeptics crying hoax, the dates didn't add up. Terra server, showing blackouts, was launched after Mel first contacted Art Bell. He couldn't have fabricated it. Before the story could reach its conclusion, Mel vanished again, but not before warning us. There are places on this earth where our rules don't apply, where the dead walk, where time fractures, where secrets bigger than governments lie buried beneath our feet. And somewhere in the hills of Washington state, Mel's hole still waits. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, if you believe there are secrets beneath our feet that the world isn't ready to face, then make sure to like this video, subscribe for more chilling mysteries, and leave a comment below. What do you think is really hidden at the bottom of Mel's hole? Your voice matters, and together we might just uncover the truth.